We're live.
Look, I have a puppy dog who wants to be part of the live call with us.
Okay, but the real question is, where is the new office cat?
The new office cat is in his room right now. He's a bit much, and he makes the dogs into a bit much.
Oh,
So
he's
all of
so
it's
cute.
a bit much.
I'm in love.
He is very cute. We'll see if we can get him for a showing at the end.
Okay.
It's
Hi,
live!
Kim.
Hi, Kim!
Yay. That's exciting to see you.
All right, so today, any questions you guys have, here to answer them. This is your hour. We can use the whole thing, we can use part of the time. So bring questions. I did get one email from
Laura.
Join Me in the Kitchen.
Yep.
Yes. Um, so I'll have that to go over at the very least.
Yes. Which
But
hopefully she'll hop on. She normally does.
yes, yeah,
We'll see her in a little bit.
cool.
I have so much faith.
Okay, so I'm gonna screen share what her question looks like,
Cool.
just so you guys kind of know what we're looking at. All right, so first up, just screen sharing the email that she sent. So yeah, if you guys have any questions and you like, there's Laura. Hi. If you guys have any
Hi.
questions and you know you want to go over them, I got this email and I think I even wrote down here. Love an email question ahead of time. It's like our little internal notes thing. Um, so I know Lori sometimes sends totally
Yeah.
your hour. If you have questions, then they'll be the first ones that get answered if you email them ahead of time. But in the
Is your internet spotty or is this me?
oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, apparently we lost internet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just asking, is this an internet thing on your end or mine? Normally, it's the Mississippi folk problem, not the Florida people.
Yeah, maybe there's been a lot of people in and out of this office today, so I don't know. And it's Florida, so it rains every day at this time of day, like storms. It's not right now though, so I don't know. But Kim, I see that you wrote she froze. I hope that I am unfrozen for you and everyone at this point.
You should be
Um,
fine.
okay, cool. So Laura's question, let's go through this one. Um, basically, she sent a screenshot of what her site looks like on her iPad, and she's noticing that these two headers are like side by side instead of stacked. Yay, thank you for the confirmation, Kim. And so she wants to know if we can improve that iPad experience. This one's probably going to be like pretty easy. And I suspect that we're going to fix it with my favorite tool ever, which is that document overview, like the list view. I bet once I go in there, I know what's wrong with it. But to start, here's the screenshot. I have to go find this post. I should have prepared ahead of time, but we'll do that together. And then we'll look at how to fix this particular instance because, yeah, we definitely want to see these stacked. And by default, like they should be stacked. But right here with them showing side by side, what can we do about that? So let me switch the window that I'm sharing and we will go find an answer. Okay, so this is Laura's site. And oops, on the keyboard. Let's see if we can just find. Oh, there's only two results. This is good news for us. Nope. This one. Okay. So here on desktop, we can see things are stacked. Let me see if I make this window smaller. Can we replicate that happening? Interesting. So we can't actually replicate it right now, which means maybe Laura found a solution for it. But I'm going to see if I can show you what was happening and what that solution is.
This is always the most frustrating thing for me. When someone reports something and then we can't duplicate it, and we're like, can you please?
Yes.
And then they're frustrated and I'm frustrated and I just want to fix the problem. And ideally, she's already fixed it. But yeah, my brain is on fire right now for you.
It's when I ask, like, "Oh, did you fix this on your own?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's solved." And I, like, close everything in my, like, brain and window, and then they're like, "No, it's still happening." "No, I don't know."
Yeah, that's what bad dreams are made of. It's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night.
Okay, so this is the content right here. First thing, I just clicked on one block because I wanna go into this document overview and see how everything's nested in here. And it is as I suspected. So when I open up this list view, I can see that this group, there's a group called content icon heading, and then inside of it is the content numbered heading. And I think that this nesting right here is what's causing the issue. Whether like I can replicate it or not, or Laura like found a way to fix it, which I think she did by basically she turned this into a group instead of a row. So previously it probably was a row like this, and it probably had this enabled where it was allowed to wrap. And so she would see it sometimes stacked, but then in other cases she would see it all in one row. I bet that's what this was previously. She went in, she changed it to a group, that fixed it so it's all just stacked. But if you want to have the first headline have the icon and the title side by side, but not have the next title in line with it, just come into this document overview, make sure you're in this list view, and drag anything that's nested together into its own group. So see now how icon heading does not contain numbered heading. They're two totally separate groups. Now if I change icon heading back to a row and I allow it to wrap, these are side by side, but they won't ever be beside this next heading. So I'm going to click save on this post and then come back here. And then you're just going to see what happens here is that this content is side by side again, but this cook the rice does not come up next to it. Side by side, yay. And then if I make it smaller, they stay stacked at all times. All of these screen sizes have them stacked. So, first of all, props, Laura, because I can tell that you totally figured this out on your own. Like you figured out, oh, a totally acceptable and perfectly reasonable way to solve this, which was just you changed it from a row to a group. So super, super cool. Um, but now, just by looking in this overview, separated them, they work as expected. Just dancing over here. All right, cool. That was the whole answer. I liked it. I love when it's that easy. Yay, you're welcome, Laura. That was our only question so far. Do you guys have other questions?
Now we
Because
get
these
to dance again.
Wednesdays are just like totally for you guys to bring questions. Even if they're on like generic topics and you want me to like ramble a little, I can do that for you.
I
But
bet
I'm
you
hesitant to,
can.
I'm so chatty. We went out to lunch with Christopher's parents the other day, and I normally am not the chatty one. And I turned to him like halfway through lunch and I was like, oh my God, I've been talking so much. And I think they're, like, not used to me being so chatty that everyone was like, "No, no, go on. It's
Oh,
fine." But you guys are used to chatty Lauren.
it's nice. I enjoy chatting.
Okay. I'm waiting for you guys to drop in some questions. If I don't get any questions, I don't have any reason to stick around, and we're all just gonna have to wait till next week.
Oh,
Yay! Kim got me. Okay, cool.
oh, okay.
Hmm.
Hold up. We have Chatty Lauren on the phone here. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen Chatty Lauren doing an unfiltered critique. Kim, I think she's gonna be nice, but also I want to warn you, like, depending on what version of Lauren is showing up here right now,
You just see me roll up my sleeves. I
I'm
was like, "Let's get
scared.
this footer."
It could be really great, but also you have so many strong opinions for someone who's always like, don't yell at me in caps lock, you other expert. She says BABLOL. Nope, nope. I gotta show this. Thank you, Kim. All right, you have Kim's full express permission. Unfiltered critique
Okay. Yay.
of the
All
footer.
right, so we're in the footer. I just want to make sure that like I assume this is where the head or not the header, the home page ends. Let me close this stuff. Go away. Okay, so I assume this is where the home page ends and this is where the footer starts. Um, okay, so we've got all the links. I like the links. Let me look at your header for comparison. Yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
I want to see it on mobile. Because I think I'm curious to see what the products look like. The products above the main links.
These are the home page. It's not even the footer.
That's not the pre-footer? Only the
No, I
SEO
think
links?
this right here, just the links,
Okay.
are the
Normally
like
there's like
before
an
footer.
email subscribe, then the links, then the global footer.
So the reason I have like a before footer and a regular footer is because this bar right here is just like the essentials, like the legalese stuff normally, and
Mhm.
that bar is the footer that like you pretty much want to be on every page no matter what. But then we have templates that are called like simple footer, and that removes the first footer area. And so that's for like all the extra fluff. So particularly on your legal pages and like your accessibility page, you're supposed to have very little like fluff on it. And so you would only want this very basic footer and you would want like the most minimal header possible. So you would remove the like header after and the footer before, which is all your like extras. And you'd have a very simple header, a very simple footer. And then that's why like normally this bar right here is all you would want in your like normal footer, just like essentials. And then anything before it, you could add as much as you wanted. And so more of this, like these best digital labels, selling digital labels could be part of the footer as well as these links. And it could be all of that stuff. And that would all go in the before footer, like template part. But because there's this gap right here, this normally happens because like there's not a good way to get rid of that gap. If you end your page on something full width with a colored background and then you go into your footer. And so that's why I suspect this is part of the homepage and this is part of the footer. So probably what I would do, and I say this very, very loosely because if you look at creator theme, I don't do this. Hold on real quick. Let me take you to like just the buy page. Oh, fine. One other page. What's one of the ones I built recently? Um,
Where
what
at?
have I not been using this computer? What are our bundles called? We have like Creator Suite. Is
Oh
that on
yeah,
here?
Creator Suite, Best in Blogging. That's gonna
I think
be
it's
Best in
Creators.
Blogging is under events though.
Okay, cool. So here's where I have the exact same thing, and I personally just don't care. Um, so if you're like looking for me to be a bee, then I would be like, we should just like add something here that doesn't have a background so that any of your sections like this like look nicer. So for example, this, or like it intentionally has that white gap so that you don't see a weird space. Look how intentional this is. But also, do I actually care? No, because on my very own site, I just leave that gap. It doesn't matter. I can't be bothered. That is not worth my time.
Okay, there's a chance that we should be looking at paying clients custom themes and not our own sites.
Fine, if it was a
Sometimes
custom
there's
theme
more love.
client, I would remove this gap.
Yeah.
But like, if you're paying $20,000, we're gonna remove a gap for you.
Yeah.
If I'm DIYing this and I'm critiquing your footer, that is not what I'm looking at. As a
Yeah.
user, I don't care. As someone else that's like working on sites, I don't care. So I'm gonna look at like the actual footer stuff and I'm gonna ignore this gap because I love it and I think it should stay there. I'm very biased because I have my own gap and I'm not doing jack about it. Okay, actually, I already was kind of looking at these links here, and as far as your organization, I'm very impressed because I'm absolutely obsessed with having them be the exact same length. And like I will find something to put there, and you filled it out with everything the exact same length, and I love it. We are going to look at it on mobile. Um, but I can tell that you did 6 here,
Yeah,
and
it's
so
gonna
they're
snap
probably
right
going
through.
to nest really nicely on mobile. Oh, you already looked, Hannah? You
I
little cheat.
haven't looked.
Okay. Look how cute it looks. Okay, I'm
So
also
good.
happy. Like, just any even number would work out fine. But if you had done, like, 5, this you just have an empty gap right here.
Or if anything had multiple words and they ended up breaking to 2 lines,
It drives me a little batty, and I
Lauren's
just
dreams would have been crushed.
I would it would have. I would have been like, "Do you really need it to be a word that long? Could you just reword it a little bit?"
Can you just pick one? Pick one
Yeah.
word.
Does it need to be appetizers and sides? Could it just be appetizers?
Say apps.
Yeah, apps and sides. See? Exactly. But in terms of, like, organization, I feel like this makes a lot of sense as well. I
Mhm.
will say, if I look back at this, you could look at it on mobile or desktop, but I just prefer desktop, right? I love that you have favorite links on the left. It's gonna show up on the top on mobile. It shows up, like, first for, English reading, on the left. I think the categories in the middle, like categories, pantry, DIY, all make sense and have good subcategories under them. Um, the social media, I feel like, could we figure out a way to make these look? I bet. Hold.
Uh-oh.
Let me move on. Let me move on to something else and come back to that. It's like a design thing. You know what? We won't hold. We'll just do it right now. I really kind of want them to have an icon on them because I feel like if someone were down here looking for that, that like it's just lost a little. Um, and so I wonder if there'd be a way to keep the current layout and then add an icon for those. And I think we would have to do the social button blocks and do multiple ones to have it look like this. I'm not really sure, but we could play with that. That's something we could definitely play with and see if it's possible after this if we want to. The miscellaneous, I feel like duplicates some of what's in here. I don't really hate it because I would rather this be even and duplicate it. But I do almost wonder if, like, especially if we can't get these social to look nice here, maybe we go down to these 4 as the links and we just make them wider and then we remove social and miscellaneous and we put those somewhere else slash down here in this footer. So this bottom footer, like I was saying earlier, this bottom footer is the footer that you want to appear on your pages pretty much no matter what. So even if you're doing like a legal page and you're trying to remove some of the extra fluff, you still want that bottom footer there to like take to the most important pages. And so everything that's in this miscellaneous, maybe not everything, but most of it, probably not free printables, but like all of this, these 5 links here, I would make sure that they all exist down here so that they always appeared on every page no matter what like template I'm using. Um, And then I would kinda like it's breaking onto 2 lines, and I wanna get it all on 1 line, even if I had to make text smaller. I want it all on 1 line. Or I would redo the layout where it's, like, centered on 2 lines. I think I would do that. Okay, so far, like, the bottom has disclosure, DCMA, privacy returns, terms, but miscellaneous has media, press, advertise, disclaimer. Is disclaimer the same as disclosure? So, disclosure, disclaimer, they're different. Podcast, contact me, free printables. Kind of want to reorganize that stuff. Put some more in this footer area. Change up how this looks. I feel like the black is a little bit like extreme. We're not using black pretty much anywhere else. I'd maybe change it to like one of the dark purples or something. I'd look and see how that feels. Or I would just put it maybe just white. Can we change the footer?
All I see is her last comment, which is no. So we're just gonna dance it out and wait for the next comment.
That no was totally her telling me that the disclosure and disclaimer were not the same. Okay, here's what I want to do. I like the content in the footer. I feel like these are all links that you want. Yes, see, that these are all links that you want to have, but I want to move some of them so that these four that are like for users that I think they actually would want to look at are more like they take up more space and they're more front and center. And then we move social into something that's more like icon based and looks different. So they just like we know this is a different type of link, we're gonna be going somewhere else, and then put miscellaneous, like, somewhere else. Um, like, I'd maybe keep free printables, I feel like well, actually, will you tell me, is free printables, like, a big page for you? Do you get a lot of signups from here? Do you get a lot of people going to it? Because if so, I maybe would wanna make these free printables, like, a bigger button. But if it's just kind of, like, there, then we'll put it in the footer with the rest. In the footer. So the before footer. Okay, she says she has icons in the header too. Let me look at how they oh yeah, because we added them at the very top, so they're like front and center. Oh yeah. Hmm. Okay, well I have kind of an idea. I feel like with your in your footer, we could keep them if we did something like what Lemon Blossoms has where they're stacked right here. And we would stack them next to those links so they'd still be with all the links, but they'd just be stacked icons. I feel like this could be fun. But then with them being so prominent in your header, I also feel like we could just remove them and you would be just as well off. All right, let's play with it. Tell me about, oh, she said average traffic with free printables. Hmm. Okay, we'll think on that. Oh, they might be redundant. Yeah, then maybe we'll just remove the social, move the miscellaneous, and kind of see what we like that. Could do freebies in the header possibly. Okay. Front end, refresh. I'm looking for it to add that admin bar. And I'm worried it's not gonna. I'm also worried now that your site's doing what it did to me last time, where it just like made me worried that I had crashed your site. Okay, edit site. Yes, your site does hate me. And it doesn't, it goes slow for me. Like I'm even at my like office right now. So I can't,
Glacial slow.
yeah, I can't be like, oh, I'm on Starbucks public Wi-Fi. Like I'm theoretically on good Wi-Fi. All right. While this loads, we might get a kitten. We might go get the kitten and distract ourselves with the kitten for a second.
I approve this message. I've clicked unmute, mute, unmute so many times trying to say I approve this message. I get so excited for this cat.
It is a really cute cat. Um, no matter my hosting, my admin is always slow. It shouldn't be this slow. Well, what it's doing right now is slower than I think it's been for me in the past, except for when it like crashed on us. Um, but it shouldn't be this slow. And I want to know if it's this slow for you. I'm like really tempted to try and refresh it, but I don't want to like restart this loading. Right. Retry. I did click refresh.
Come
Laura has 2 cats. Laura,
on.
tell us about your cats. How old are they? What color are they? What are their names? This kitten that we have right now is just a foster, and he's supposed to stay a foster. Oh
Hmm.
no, this editor did not load.
I'm
I can
trying to
see
get
it's
in.
trying again. Kim
Which
also
might
has
be making
two.
it worse. Should I not?
Ooh, it's loading for me now.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Maybe
so
it
we'll be
just
good.
waits the latest person. If I just
Yeah. So I just
trigger
needed you
it,
to try loading it.
I'm
Yeah.
enemy number one.
Kim, why are your cats avoiding you? This is unacceptable.
At least your
Okay.
cat can move away.
Oh yeah, Hannah had a cat, and it actually just decided it wanted to live with a different family.
Yeah.
To be fair, that other family got kind of aggressive with her cat and started taking off Hannah's collar and putting on their own collar. At which point, I think I also would have just been like, if that's who you are, you can have the cat.
Here's the microchip and vaccine record. We'll say hello to Kevin from the road.
I was really upset for Hannah for a while though, because I was like, who does that? Like, who steals a kitten? These people wanted that cat.
They don't like the noise.
Oh, so you know what? This kitten would probably be the same because it does not like loud noises.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. I'm distracted. I keep going back to our chat so I can read about cats and then not knowing where this tab is. For these buttons, I have them open in the sidebar and I'm just gonna drag and drop them down here in the footer, which I think is gonna work. Because this is already a buttons block and I can drag it into the buttons block. So hopefully I don't have to like copy and paste stuff. Please work. Yes. Okay. So they look goofy, but we can fix that. So that I just deleted these last two, and then I'm going to update my grid to specifically be optimized for, oops, 4 columns. 2 columns on mobile, 4 on tablet and desktop. It's got this weird kind of thing happening right here, and I don't know why. Well, it looks good here. We're going to fix these buttons. All of the, actually, let's copy the styles from this button and then paste it to all of our new buttons. Allow. Beautiful. So it changed them to the correct color and it made them all lowercase so they all look the same together. I personally like this. I feel like these 4 groups like stand out better now and they're all the same type of link, like they're internal like content type links. Recipes. I'm looking to see if any of these would make sense to do your freebies here in this like favorite links. If they're not actually their top links, then probably not worth it. Okay, let's come back to that. I want to do this down here. So in terms of colors, hold on. This row, I do not want it to have a background. This row, no background. This paragraph, no background. Beautiful. Okay, the purple's kind of a lot, isn't it? How do we feel about a gray instead of a black? Hannah doesn't care.
I don't like purple. I actually kind of liked the black, but if you move that
Okay.
gray, then I think on the home page there's a couple of elements that need to be gray as well.
Okay, let me look at the homepage in a sec, and then we'll decide. This row is actually what I need to be centered.
But hey, Kim says good.
Why is this stuff not centered? Because I need this row to be centered. Do I like that? I'm not sure yet. Let's look at the homepage. So what would you make gray from this homepage that's currently black? You are muted.
I love that you started scrolling around as I'm talking to you on mute. That is just
Yeah.
one of my favorite things. I think it's just the looking for more in the black outline of those guys right there. That's really all it was.
Mm,
That's not
mm,
something
mm,
that you're
mm.
gonna quickly change, so maybe it doesn't matter. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, I like the gray. Kim likes the gray. We're gonna look at the black in a little bit. Um, what I don't like is like I just don't love this footer still. I just want it to be on like no more than 2 lines. It's on 3. Can I make the text smaller?
Why
Can
can't
I
all
can I
rights
remove
reserved and
and
this old baker go next to the is that printables?
because they're buttons and the all rights reserved in this old baker are not buttons. So you can't like have them together. Yeah. But I bet I can just make this a little bit smaller and maybe I can just have the links on one line and the all rights reserved on the line after, and that would look nice. Extra small still doesn't fit. Look, it would fit if we could just remove free printables. Bye, free printables. We'll put you somewhere else.
You have had it out for free printables this whole time. That poor
This
thing.
whole time. Font size. That one's already small. Extra small. Okay. I feel like I like this better. So we're gonna do this. These 4 here, they look nice. All of our boring links down here. Copyright stuff. We change this to gray. We're gonna put the printables back, but not until we come to this home page, and we're gonna just change something here because Hannah doesn't love this. The black around this makes total sense to me because yeah, they're like tablets, but let's change out how this block looks just a little bit so that it feels a little more like cohesive. So I took these 3 blocks right here and I selected them and I put them in a group. You probably didn't see that because I was clicking fast because I'm fancy. And then I realized I should probably tell you. So these 3 blocks right here, I just shift selected them, put them in a group, and that's because I want to decrease the spacing between them and add a background color. So I want the color to be white. It needs some paragraph spacing. What does the rest of the site look like? We do white on this lighter color. Should I lift it? Let's see. I want more space between these. What about this? I don't lift it. All I do is we just add the white background, bring everything together. I feel like that brightens it up enough that like now it doesn't feel like the black. It feels more cohesive with the gray. Thumbs up. That's exactly what I wanted. And then this looks cute. I like this. I like the gray.
It
I
looks a
think I
lot
did
better on
good.
2 lines. You did great.
It does look better on 2 lines, right?
If you're gonna talk about that gap, are you gonna close the gap?
I don't want to close the gap.
Okay.
Okay, let me do free printables and then we'll talk about the gap. We won't close the gap probably, but we'll talk about the gap. Um, but let's figure out free printables first. We have to put free printables back somewhere. What do we want to do with it? I know we talked about putting it in the header, but if it's not something that people are like actively looking for, then I'm hesitant to put it up there. I think what I want to do is do something maybe that's like almost, oh, Kim says to put it in the header. I think what I would maybe want to do is put something like full width or almost full width in this light purple box and have it like underneath them. Kim Kim called herself a cheap ass on the Facebook Live. You're funny, Kim, but that's not, I think of you guys as our like people who come with questions that like teach us what we need to teach stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I would like our lives to have more people over time just because I enjoy them so much. But when people are like, "Oh, you do lives, like how successful are they?" And I'm like, "We have like 3 regulars." I know who's gonna be there, it doesn't bother me at all. It also makes it pretty low stress, so I can come looking like this when I was like I specifically packed makeup for the office and, no.
Some days it works out and some days it doesn't.
Oh, Kim
Depends on
said
what
that was not her. She said, "The ones that want freebies and get mad when I make them click."
Yeah, that's about
Oh. Forgot this is recorded and live. Yeah.
right. So fun.
Yeah, I'm recorded like this forever. Okay. Do we want it at the top then? She says her cheap ass Facebook people. I'm on the allergy meds.
That is a Lauren statement if I've ever read one. So sorry. No,
Uh,
no, I'll put it on the bottom. We
I
have
mean,
enough.
I could definitely put it
Make
up
them
here.
scroll. Yes, make them scroll.
That's what I want to do.
I support
Okay, I'm
it.
making them scroll. But for the record, looking at your site, Kim, if you wanted them in this header area, you could just put them after cookbooks, freebies. I think there's room, even on this tablet size, to add freebies over here. Might get a little bit close, um, but it'll look fine on mobile. It'll just be off here to the side. They'll see it even without having to like swipe over there. So if people are complaining about it, you could totally put it higher up. Um, but I'm an opinionated person today, and I want my freebies down here. Want to look bad on mobile? I don't think so. Let's just look at it real quick. We're gonna keep freebies here because we're gonna do that. Ah, that's right. You made weird synced things, and now I have to click extra. Freebies. I can't spell. Freebies. It's not a tag. Lauren, you did not delete this link and then not know how to link to these free printables. Whew. It's because they're not called freebies, they're called free printables. If this doesn't give me a recommendation soon, I'm gonna have to sing about it. Okay, we're only gonna do the header first, and we're gonna look at this so you can see what I mean. I think it'll look fine. I mean, I'm gonna put it in the footer too, but we could also leave it here and you could just delete it if you don't like it. Okay, so looks great right here. We just added freebies. I didn't do free printables because I knew it would be too long. Here on mobile, it is a little bit off to the side. I think I could probably decrease the space with a little effort. So you could see it a little bit more. I bet actually I could change up how this works so that it looks a little bit nicer. But I'd have to do some troubleshooting, and I'd rather not do that live because it'll be boring. But that being said, I think even how it looks right now, especially if I change it just a teeny tiny bit, people will kind of like, if they could see free, that would be enough for me. Or like close to all 4 letters. Then they'll kind of know to scroll over. And I think it'd be fine. This is the smallest possible screen size, I'm pretty sure, for any modern phone is 320. So right now, those people are already having to scroll a little bit. Again, I can troubleshoot this later, but like my phone, I think is somewhere around this 425. So my phone would be able to see most, if not all, of freebies. And then I think a like mid-size iPhone is like 414. So they can mostly see that too. So I think it looks fine. And it fits on this. This would be like a tablet-sized device, 1024. It fits here. So I think as freebies, it totally fits fine. But I'm just gonna put something in. Where's my footer at? Down here. I could actually do free printables. Okay, let's do something like this. You'll have to, I'm not a copywriter. I write things, right? Poorly. So you can edit this and I will not be at all offended. But like something as simple as this, I like this. Let me show you that on here. Oh no. Caching strikes again. Oh. Okay, cool. I like
Nice.
this.
Yeah.
I didn't even like really have to style that. This is literally just a row with a paragraph and button in it. And I think it looks good.
Yeah. I love it.
It calls it out just a little bit. So you're like, Facebook people can come here and you'll just be like, scroll to the very bottom. You can't miss it.
Thanks for engaging with my page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate
Okay.
your heavy
She
scroll.
didn't like it in the header. So we're going to go remove that. She said, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, get that out of here. Wait, what did I say I would go back to? I like this. This looks good.
Mhm.
What am I going back to? Hannah, you
I
are
don't
like,
remember.
oh, the gap. Okay, let's talk about the gap.
Oh, I
Look,
thought you didn't
I
want
have-
to deal with the gap. I thought we were ignoring it.
I said you said, please fix the gap. And I said, I won't fix the gap, but we'll talk about the gap.
Oh, fine.
This is what you get. This is what you get, Hannah. Okay, the gap is there. Sorry, you're gonna get the really like awful full description because generally your page ends with white and without any space underneath it. And like you don't want your background footer thing to be right up against. So let's look at an archive page. Breakfast. We're gonna look at the exact. It's like a whole thing I'm doing today. See how you need this white space, that orange bar right there. You need it on these other pages because they don't end with a full like background. And so here on the homepage, because this has that background color, then the gap is weird. What?
What's about the products?
What's about the products?
Above, scroll up. White.
Yeah, so that's basically, Hannah, just be a little patient. I'm getting there. I'm just explaining why it exists. Yeah, essentially you could just swap them. That's exactly what we were going to get to, is that's what I do with, damn it, did I just... Don't mind me. I'm just making noises today. Hannah, please recreate the noise that I made for you last night.
Oh, the one about kitty cat nail clippers?
Yes.
There were hands involved. Don't make me do that. I can't do the noise. I made her do it for me multiple times, but it was the hand and noise for me.
Okay, we're gonna fix, there's a gap here. I'm aware. We're gonna fix that one in a minute. But basically, for the footer, we can't like change that gap.
Yeah.
And we could, but we'd have to do it everywhere, and then some pages would look messed up. So if you don't like the gap, I just recommend doing something with a white, like a regular background.
Yeah.
And so here you can see now it looks normal. There's a normal gap there.
Hooray. Except, no, your scroll isn't at the bottom anymore
My scroll isn't at the bottom
for
anymore.
freebies. Oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
So that's the easiest solution. And then there is a gap right here, but because this is just a one-off block, we can come into this block and tell it not to have any margin top.
Yeah.
So where it says margin, I just say, don't have any margin at the top. Save. Ready. I'll flip this. I'm not going to leave this like that for you, Kim, because I don't, well, if you tell me to leave it, obviously I will. But I assume that you have them in some order that matters to you. But that's the easiest thing, is just add another piece of content underneath your full width one. And then that gap, you'll never notice it. You'll never see it. Alternatively, what you could do is inside of your footer, there's no method to my madness. Oh, well then we can just flip these sections and I can just leave it if you're bothered by the gap. The other thing is you could go into your footer and you could add a section that doesn't have this background, because then again, there'll be a gap, but you won't notice it because it'll just be white space that like is supposed to be there. And so that's what I did on Creator Theme. Here, this is a full width section, and then this is part of the footer. And you can actually see like this white space is a little smaller than this white space. And that's because there's technically a gap here. Curious? Don't worry, I'll show you. Like this and this. Okay, so there's actually like two gaps here, weirdly, right? Here, this is our gap. So we have, this is right, that orange spot, that's all part of this block. And then you see there's still the white bar, that's the gap. And that's why there's like actually more space above than below. But if you put something in your footer that is not a full width background thing, then you'll have white space that seems intentional. So could I fix it? Yes. Is it easy to do without messing other stuff up? No. Therefore, I recommend one of those workarounds. Miss Hannah. Miss, can you just fix that gap?
Well, you want to explain what it is and why it is and how it lives, and like just do a little flippy floppy.
No. My friends on here sort of kind of want to know some of the crazy in my head.
Maybe they just want an answer. You're like, yeah, you're the worst.
Yeah, they probably do. They probably do. Kim says she's gonna flip stuff around. I love it, Kim. Play with it. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Tweaking stuff and getting it pixel perfect, a little bit of effort. But like just doing things and having it done,
Yeah.
it's done. That
Mhm.
gap did not need to be fixed. Was it cool to fix it? I thought so.
It
I
was
thought it was fun to
gratifying.
talk about. But like it totally worked. And it was not any of the things that like I actually wanted to fix in your footer. I wanted to change the number of columns, move the button, put all the boring links at the bottom. And I did.
You did great. You did great work.
All right, we have 10 minutes left. I'm going to make you guys see a kitten. Because I don't
Yeah.
think I saw. Laura didn't respond with her kitty cat answers, did she?
Oh no, there were kitty cat answers for sure.
Ooh, I just missed them. I must have been talking too much. Poppy and Henry, siblings. Their mom was feral, now in a cat sanctuary off the street. They're 3. Her little girl, almost all gray. Okay, my cat, like not the foster cat, but my cat is all gray. Like Russian blue style gray, and I love it. No white paws, that's really, really cute. Henry, huge, white and gray. I need to know a definition of huge because like
Are we weighing Henry before the next live stream?
yes, I'm gonna need more details.
Oh, I have to boogie. I have a dog that needs to go out bad. Okay, bye,
Okay,
Kim.
okay, Kim.
Thank you
Bye.
for coming. Thank you for having questions.
I'm gonna go get the kitten. It's really cute. You guys
I'm
can see it
excited.
before we hop off.
I made
Kitten's just a
Lauren.
foster though, so we can't get too attached to kitten, even though
I'm
I already
attached.
love kitten. 16
16 pounds in
pounds and tall. Ooh, so maybe he's like partially Maine
Henry.
Coon because like 16 pounds and tall. That's a big cat.
How long is
That's
his tail?
He's a small dog.
Yeah, bigger than a lot of small dogs. Henry.
Hello, little Bravo. Let's go meet some people.
That was so fast. I'm impressed. Oh, it's because she had AirPods in. Oh my
Yep,
gosh.
it's because I had AirPods. Mars is freaking out. Mars loves the kitten.
Oh,
Look at how cute he is.
Yeah.
Where you trying to go, kitty? Where you trying to go? Good luck with the foster. Yeah.
We all believe.
Yeah. He's really freaking cute. He can't so it's my mom that's fostering and she lost her cat. I think it was just earlier this year, right? It wasn't last year. Anyway, it was an all black cat. So I really don't think that this one gets to stay. I do fully expect her to foster fail at some point, but I don't think it'll be with this one. He is really, really like a playful, fun, cuddly, like he's a good cat. He also just created something called a marker created in this live stream. So he's like purring up a storm right now. And he let Mars just like lick him until he was sopping wet earlier today. It was pretty cute. So he's like, I mean, I guess we can't say he's good with cats. He's not allowed to be around other cats right now. Henry's tail is 13 inches.
Henry's a big boy.
Laura, did you know that, or did you just go measure your cat's tail?
There is no answer that doesn't make me laugh. Either she already knew that or she went and measured his tail. Both answers acceptable. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a good cat. Someone's gonna really love this cat. I think he's technically already adoptable age. Yeah, because adoptable is 2 months and he's 3 months.
Oh.
But
You should have measured it.
yes, Laura.
You are a go-getter.
I think the reason he can't be adopted yet is because he has to get tested for feline leukemia. So he's not allowed to be around other cats right now until he comes back negative.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Okay, he's kneading right now on my arm.
With
And I
his
think the
nails
other
weird.
dogs are all crying.
Oh. The dogs are like, why are you petting this cat and not me?
They really do feel that way. All right. Okay, thanks for indulging me wanting to show off Kitten that came home yesterday. I'm obviously obsessed with him.
Thank you for indulging me in measuring Henry's tail. That's the highlight of my whole week, probably.
That was really, really good. Just went and measured it. Laura needs like an award for that.
Yes. We will be coming up with end of year or live stream awards, and that is definitely one of them.
Speaking of, you know how we were going to plan this vacation? I feel like everyone lives in Florida. We have like a surprising amount of Florida people.
Yeah.
So, maybe we need to plan something in Florida. It'd just be easy for everyone but Hannah to get to.
I approve this as well. I'll get there. It's fine.
Maybe not everyone, but someone, you were talking about someone else being in Florida yesterday, and I was like, oh, I guess they can come to our little thing.
Julie,
got it.
you talked about bringing soup when we were talking about how you're sick once. She's like, I want to
Mm,
share water. I'll bring her some soup.
yep.
So sweet.
That is really sweet.
Mhm.
Okay. My other pup is freaking out, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for bringing questions, guys. I love, love, love answering them with you guys. So I'll see you next week with more questions, and we'll do whatever we need to do.
Yes, have a great
Yes, have
4th
a
of
great 4th.
July. See you guys next week.
Bye.